Deep within a bleak and dismal era, hidden within the murky internet, lies the headquarters of the most sinister geeks of all time. A Legion on Zoom.
And what's up, everybody?
Yo.
Welcome to another episode of the Legion on Zoom. I'm Ches.
Rod.
And I'm Miguel.
And this is the third episode of our small little endeavor here. And crazy news! Keaton is coming back as Batman. Holy fucking shit!
I'm getting wet just listening to this.
This could be the best news that we've gotten, I don't know, in the last, 5 years maybe. I think so. Like, this is awesome.
With regard to DC, right? Because we've gotten some crazy news out of Marvel, like crossover films. But yeah, like DC news, this definitely takes the cake.
Yeah, no, definitely. Of course, Marvel has not let us down, and they just keep, making it more epic and more epic. But man, Michael Keaton, like I felt like, childhood Miguel was just like, yeah, it's awesome.
Dude, if they gave me the option before all this happened to either end all world hunger or bring back Michael Keaton as Batman, I would have picked Michael Keaton as Batman.
Damn. That's what's up.
I would have to think about that too. I would have to think about it. Like, damn.
I wouldn't have had to think about that. That's the crazy part. Now, mind you, even though I do have some slight reservations about Michael Keaton Batman, which I'll say for tad later in the episode, but that's freaking nuts. And the crazy part is why he's coming back. If I'm not mistaken, isn't that like that the Flashpoint Ezra Miller movie is gonna get so crazy that apparently is gonna slip into the Batman 89 verse? Or am I wrong?
Well, I don't know about the Batman. Well, yeah, exactly. It might slip into the Batman 89 verse, exactly. And what I was reading about it too, which I think is very exciting, is that apparently it's going to be like a multi-film contract for him. So that's incredible.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That I didn't know. That's
so
crazy.
There's obviously mad speculation out there about what does this mean, right? So like, is it because he's going to be portraying like an older Bruce Wayne, right? So is this going to then introduce Batman Beyond, perhaps? Or is he going to take on the role of some mentor across all these different films or something? What's going to happen?
Yeah, and then to concurrently still be active in the Spider-Man films. So he's going to be the Vulture there because he has a cameo in Morbius. And now as Bruce Wayne, coming back home. Talk about homecoming.
Right. And then exactly. And I think that's great too, because I loved him as the Vulture. I think he did a great job. It made me feel confident that he still has it. Like he still has it, even though he's older, obviously, but he can still be that kind of superhero villain type character in a film, obviously with a lot of CGI and all that. But Michael Keaton's the best.
That might be the most epic of all the double dips in the comic book movies.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
like when there seems to be a slight subculture of like actors playing a hero in both universes or a hero villain, well, just playing a character in either universe. And I think this might be one of the coolest ones. Like Batman 89 and Vulture, like whoa.
That actually makes me think, is there any other actor that has done that they're in both the MCU and in the DC universe? I can't off the top of my head I can't remember.
Well, you got Jared Leto to some degree.
Oh, work is going to be Morbius.
The Joker and then Morbius.
And I'm pretty sure that there have to be some other ones too. I was about to say Chris Evans, but he double dipped in the Marvel universe. That's too.
In Marvel,
yeah. But
so Michael Keaton will be the only epic one to be getting
he might be the first
that big ass check from both of them. He's set.
That's crazy. That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild.
Well done, Michael. Well done.
Yeah, and it's cool because this news came on the same week that they were talking about Jeffrey Dean Morgan potentially signing on for Flashpoint. And I'm wondering if it was like an either or deal or if people just got these preliminary reports and just started guessing. But if we could get both Jeffrey Dean Morgan Flashpoint Batman and Batman 89 in this, I mean, it might be too much Batman for a Flash film. It'll basically be like a Batverse, like into the Batverse film.
That film would be called The Flash Batman.
Exactly. Kind of like the way that Iron Man, like, just stole most of Spider-Man's thunder in Homecoming, just have Batman just take that movie over.
Hell yeah, not just any Batman, Batman 89. Yes.
Batman. Just
Yeah,
thinking
but,
about
and actually, but wouldn't that kind of map on though to Flashpoint story, right? Because the Flashpoint story obviously it's a Flash centric story, but it was also like a heavy Thomas Wayne, this whole other Batman Flashpoint story. Like he was like they were integral, they were key. You know, it was basically Flash, Batman from that universe, and versus ¿cómo era? Reverse Flash, right?
yeah. Or I mean, they could probably just like superimpose the Batman 89 concept onto that. Like when he runs back, instead of like the whole Jeffrey Dean Morgan, like that Batman, it's the Michael Keaton 89 Batman instead. So they could do like a clever swap.
Or I'm thinking maybe they'll do like a better scene, because you remember how in Batman versus Superman, right, where Flash appears to Bruce Wayne, that flick, right, in the scene,
yeah.
like kind of warning him of something. Maybe now like Flash realizes, you suck, you don't help me at all. I'm gonna go to another dimension to go to another Bruce Wayne
And get another you.
to get an effective one. Yes,
That would be kind of like into the Batman verse, which would be pretty epic. Like thinking about Michael Keaton, like it just kind of makes me reminisce about like the first. That might be like the first comic book movie I think I was ever actually into. Is the first one I can remember. I mean, I think I saw like Flash Gordon and stuff like that, but that was after that. But I think that might be one of the first things that got me into comics, which are fans out there who I'm sure by now they're probably in the hundreds of thousands. They might want to know, like, how did like the whole Legion get into comics as individuals?
word. So because you got into comics, you're saying thanks to the Batman films,
Well,
yeah?
Kind of. I mean, I had seen them as a kid, but I actually met Rod when I was about like 9-10 years old, and I think he gave me like my first comic books, and then from there, like the rest was history. Just like a bunch of trips and stuff to the comic book store and whatnot.
I like to point out right now for our fans at home that you have one of the most reliable ice cream truck guys in the city.
Right.
On point, if you can all hear in the back, they're right there.
And it shows that we're punctual too, to some degree, right?
Exactly. We're all at the same time.
It's causation and correlation. It's like, would we be here if that ice cream truck wasn't there?
Damn. Thank you, ice cream truck man.
Facts.
Yeah, man. No, but yeah, because I got into comics. I think actually, damn, I can't remember. I don't know what came first actually, because I remember X-Men. Like X-Men got me into the comic book world, and then like because I remember the first comic book that I ever bought was an X-Men comic book. I think it was issue 26 or something, or I don't remember. It was in.
Editor's note. It was actually X-Men 15, published December 10th, 1992.
1992. I remember the cover it was one of the Executioner song storyline, and the cover had Strife with Jean Grey and Cyclops there. Oh no, so I think right before that, because around that time I think the cartoon came out, and I think the X-Men cartoon, which is obviously like goddamn, like one of the best.
It was a masterpiece. It was a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm. Masterpiece, one of the best theme songs out there. Oh, so good. I remember like all of that together just like took me into the comic book world. And then because I remember that was the first comic book I bought. I remember going into a pharmacy and then I saw it like in the, where they have like freaking just magazines and stuff, and I was like, what, Mom, what's that? Yeah,
bam.
And I'm like asking my mom, begging my mom, can you get that for me? And then that's it. And then been reading comic books ever since, but I did have a hiatus, because I guess just for the listeners at home, right? Like we're based in New York City right now. Specifically, we're based like in the Heights and in the Bronx.
Yeah.
I'm originally from Mexico. I'm originally from Tijuana, in the San Diego border region. And I was reading comic books, up until basically, I guess, almost when I was done with high school. And then I kind of stopped. But then when I moved to New York, and I moved with our good man right here, Rod.
What up?
Yeah, Rod was integral to just reconnecting me with comic books. Because like Rod had not really stopped reading comic books, and you'll show your story right now. But at that point, I had stopped, and then you basically had almost all the books that picked up where I left off, and you were like, I got you, bro. Boom. Start reading this. I think, and then you gave me, I think, Avengers Disassemble. I'm like, all right, let me check this out. It's like, what? And then that's it.
The rest is history, as they say.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Brian Michael Bendis Avengers. That's what got me heavy into Marvel Comics as well. Well, at least recently. But to go back, I grew up just stealing like my older brother's Marvel comics. Like he would, whenever he'd go outside, I'd sneak into his room and just start reading his comics. And then on television, you know, you had like Adam West Batman, you had some old school Spider-Man cartoons, but I hadn't really read a DC comic book because my brother never bought them. So I never really read them. But then, you know, skip forward a few decades and I'm in Rite Aid and I see a Wizard magazine, rest in peace, one of the greatest magazines of all time.
Woo! Definitely.
With the iconic cover of Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb's Hush with Superman basically strangling Batman. And it's drawn beautifully.
Oh.
You know, like you're talking about X-Men, Jim Lee is just like an all-time, in the Mount Rushmore of comic creators, you know, he's definitely up there.
Yeah, exactly. Because the cover that I was describing, it was obviously drawn by Jim Lee.
Editor's note. It was obviously not drawn by Jim Lee, but actually by another legend, Andy Kubert.
Because that was during his awesome run. And it's like, come on, he was one of the
On the Mount Rushmore of artists. On the Mount Rushmore.
But he doesn't draw anymore, really. Like, he's not, like, he's above that. Like, he's not doing a comic book run anymore.
He's such a good artist that he's above art.
Damn. So, yeah. Picking up that Wizard magazine just started this intense love affair with DC Comics ever since. So much so that nowadays I honestly just rarely read Marvel. I do enjoy the films, but I am a Batman fanatic. Like I try to live my life in a way that, you know, some people follow Jesus Christ or the teachings of Buddha or things like that. No, for me it's Batman. It's
exactly
all about Batman.
If you're gonna follow,
what would Batman do?
Exactly. If you're gonna follow a fictional character, might as well let it be Batman, right?
Exactly.
And we just upset all the Christians that are listening.
I mean, if there's any hero to follow, I mean, is Batman really the best example? We can kind of dig into this.
It depends which Batman, right? There are many iterations.
What hero would kind of be like a good role model? What about like a Matt Murdock? He's a lawyer. He's disabled and still, you know, like he's out there just doing his thing and defending the innocent.
Yeah, or because I think chess means, right, like I think Batman proper from the books, right? Batman canon. Like, right, like is he the best role model? Like I think there's things about him that definitely that are good to look, you know, to aspire to be like. But obviously there's a lot of other stuff where it's like, no, that's not that's probably not healthy.
He's a benevolent warlord. People just don't want to say it.
I don't know about Matt Murdock because, okay, now to go back to Brian Michael Bendis, who we're name dropping him a few times. Hopefully he'll, like, you know, I don't know, do an interview with us someday. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Anyway, I started reading his Daredevil run after it was like, you know, Miguel and a roommate of mine, they were like suggesting it. And he does live in a gray area because, you know, he's defending the law in court, but breaking the law as a vigilante. So I wouldn't look at him as a role model because at least Bruce Wayne's not out there like, oh yeah, you guys all, you know, he's just dishing out his own brand of justice versus Matt Murdock, who's kind of playing both sides, right?
This is very true.
I guess, because I think with Matt Murdock, but it's kind of the same as Batman, no? Because like Matt Murdock knows that the justice system can only go so far, that he knows the flaws in it, and so he's gonna work both angles. And like Batman's the same way, right? Batman knows that, you know, justice can't really go, you know, the justice system can't do it all on its own, right? Because he has his money and he has his philanthropic, you know, enterprises with his money, which he could be doing more, I'm sure.
Fact.
But you know, but he's also going the other way. All right, let's do this thing on the side because he's also doing illegal shit.
Word.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, it's not even that Matt Murdock is playing both sides. He's doing complete justice because he's in the court of law, straight up just like protecting the innocent, and then he's out in the streets fighting crime. Matt Murdock is justice.
He's the law.
Complete justice. Yes.
Speaking of which, just a quick mention. I'm gonna make it a priority to at some point this week, just because of everything that's going on, to watch both Judge Dredd movies and compare.
I only saw Dredd once with Carl Urban.
You've only seen it once?
Yo, big ups to Carl Urban, yo. He's just out there doing it. Thor Ragnarok, the boys.
The boys,
Dredd.
yeah, nah,
He was in Thor Ragnarok?
Yeah, like the Executioner.
yeah,
Oh, that's the same dude?
yeah, with the shaved head, yeah.
Okay, for all our listeners out there, I do not pay attention to credits. I'm not gonna lie. Just you know, because pretty sure people out there gonna go crazy when they hear this. I kind of don't pay attention to credits, but damn, really, that's the same guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I need to rewatch. I think I only saw that the Urban Dread one once, I think, actually. But also, let's not forget Stallone Dread. Come on,
dude. Like, okay, so I've had this debate with Ron a couple of times. I think that the Sylvester Stallone movie is way better than the other one with Kyle Urban. However, I do think that the one with Kyle Urban is a better film.
I think I have to agree completely. You're right. I agree. It was a better made film for sure, and Urban was a good Dread. But I don't know. Stallone's Dread is just like, I don't know, iconic, I feel, at this point.
Yeah, man. It's just, he is the law.
I have to watch them both again, honestly.
Yeah. Like, it's definitely awesome films. I actually, like, only read some of their comics once. I don't know if you guys remember that thing they used to exist called Comic Bento. That was when everyone had like 5 like subscription boxes to everything
Right.
and shit.
Mhm.
Right.
Like, and yeah. And they sent me like a Dread compilation once, and it was some trippy shit.
Yeah, I've never read Dread, actually, never. And so, because Dread, that was Dark Horse, right?
I believe so.
It was the best way I could describe it would be Gaiman-esque.
Ooh.
If you catch what I'm laying down.
I've only read, no surprise, the Batman Dread crossover. And I did buy, they released a sequel in graphic novel format for the Urban film, which I never just got around to reading because I just got used to reading comics on my tablet. Like, I rarely will read a comic book on paper nowadays.
Yeah. I'll only get like actual print books now, which obviously we support. Gotta go out there, support comic book shops. Get your prints. But it is cumbersome. I think after a while, I think in the digital platforms just makes it a lot easier to read. And I like getting print either when I know for sure it's a stellar group of like writer plus artists that I want to have the art in front of me, and these are potentially going to be iconic storylines, or after the fact, after I read the book digitally that I love the art, then I'm like, I'm gonna get the actual book, hoping to give it down to my children and their grandchildren down the road.
Yeah. And if you go to a con, you're not gonna get like a tablet signed, right? You got to get like the paper.
Hell yes.
Unless you go to a con and you get a tablet signed.
Yeah, but that's,
just sign it. That'd be pretty epic.
And then you have like a bunch of tablets at home or something with the different signatures. Like, you're wasting mad money, like getting different iPads.
All right, guys. So, like, there's something I wanted to bring up for all our fans out there. It's the 3rd episode, and if you guys have still stuck around by now, you're probably going to stick around for episode 10,000.
Damn.
If you just found this episode, we hope you stick around till episode 10,000. It's going to be pretty awesome.
Damn, I hope we stick around for episode. I hope I stick around. I'm around for 10,000. Yes.
I'm gonna be here for episode 10,000.
Jesus.
But yeah, anyway, what I wanted to bring up was people, I'm pretty sure, would like to know, aside from how we got into comics, how the Legion on Zoom came to be. How did our nefarious minds decide to step into this chamber and just completely just try to disassemble everything we love and analyze it as much as we can?
Exactly. They have been requesting this for a while now for us to get into this. So because of that, we will give it to our fans. Rod, care to describe a little bit the origin?
Yeah.
We're a little hesitant because it was so dark.
I mean, podcasts are so commonplace now. And I'd imagine that the quarantine just exponentially increased the amount of people that are doing podcasts. And not only that, not only does it give us an opportunity to talk to each other,
For whatever reason, Chess is like got really close to the camera right now. It's really
all right. Yeah, it gives us a chance to talk to each other about something that we all care about, and who knows, maybe get some exposure. And everybody's always saying that, oh, you guys should start a podcast. Whatever you're into pottery or some shit or origami. Hey, start a podcast on that podcast. And superhero culture has exploded with the MCU and Comic Cons, which is canceled this year, unfortunately. It's everywhere. It's ubiquitous. Every other TV show is a superhero-based show, whether it's The Boys or Watchmen. So much content. So it's cool to have a place where you can listen to a couple of regular Joes, talk about it and break it down and give you some news and shit.
Well, I would say some irregular Joes. But yeah, I agree with everything else that you said. Yeah, I mean, that's basically essentially how it happened. And also, it was kind of like we tend to make ourselves laugh so fucking much just talking shit that we decided what would happen if other people heard the stupid shit that we say to each other in a slightly more organized manner.
exactly. And we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out people love it or hate it, regardless. That'd be good. And yeah, and exactly. And I think, and this has been a long time coming now too, because because also like for the listeners, because we have this ongoing thread on WhatsApp, like we have the hobby shop. That's the original name of our thread, which has been ongoing for, I don't know,
5 years.
5 years. I think it's been more than that. No.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I could actually check that now. If I'm I legit checked that the other day.
Yeah, isn't it a lustrum?
Yeah, the lustrum shop now. Yep. Actually, it turned 5 about 3 months ago.
Oh wow, yeah, exactly. Because I've known you guys for almost, actually, I think this August it'll be like almost 10 years now that I've known you guys, that we all met when I moved to New York.
Get the fuck out of here! Really? It's been 10 years now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
And exactly. So, but we've had that hobby shop thread for a while, and then from there, I remember, because I think Ches, you brought it up before, that we should do this into a podcast, because we would get into, like, for example, we heard the episode 1, the Snyder Cut discussion that we've had. We've had that same discussion
multiple times
on chat, just viciously typing like, "No, damn it, Rod, you're wrong."
Hell yeah. I get tight.
Developing carpal tunnel for the things we love.
And I think we took advantage of that, the pandemic, obviously, so finally being like, all right, well, we're not doing anything on the evenings really, other than playing video games, playing guitar.
Yeah, jerking off.
Exactly.
So essentially, for us to begin what was obviously a good idea, just took a soul-crushing global pandemic for us to finally be like, okay, it's time.
For the Legion on Zoom to unite, we had to go through this traumatic global experience.
And just in the same way that on episode 1, if I'm not mistaken, we discussed that there was a direct correlation between an uptick in crime and the announcement of the Snyder Cut. I think there's been a direct correlation in between just overall happiness and humanity and the premiere of our podcast.
That's right.
Look,
this is based on absolutely nothing, but I believe it.
No, but like actually, yeah, like when people hear this, it'll be some of the news has come out already by the time people are hearing these episodes online. But to be honest, right, when we started recording, like a week after they announced the news that Michael Keaton was coming back as Batman. So come on, guys. That's us. That's the Legion on Zoom. That's our first action.
Yeah, exactly. Like, by logic, everything that's happened after episode 1 has premiered, if you think about it, is a direct correlation between our existence as a podcast and just the events that unfold. It's basic chaos theory. I think. I don't even know what chaos theory is, but it sounds about right.
Sounds about right.
And like you're saying, like a whole bunch of fucked up shit has happened this year. But if you're a Batman fan, yo,
fuck.
we got that. There's still like glimpses of the Battinson suit coming out, the fucking Snyder Cut, and now Michael Keaton. Like, what the hell? Christian Bale's gonna come out next. Like, hey guys, I want in. What's up?
Yo, I think this might be the year I get a Bat insignia tattoo.
Ooh.
Oh.
Get a Legion on Zoom tattoo.
Yes.
I'll do it during episode 10,000.
That is the episode.
Oh, that'll be a great live episode. Perfect, exactly.
So, guys, look right there. You already know. Everyone who's listening, if you stick around for 9,997 more episodes, I'm gonna get a tattoo live on there on whatever platform exists that far from now.
Yeah, but exactly. That's basically the origin of Legion on Zoom. A little chat thread from friends for years, deciding to be like, all right, let's record this and see. And also thanks to technology. Like we were just talking about this right now before we started the episode, about how like it's like this is like it's super cheap for us. Like this is basically almost free for us to do this.
It's kind of crazy that you mentioned that because like if you think about it, then this podcast is like the podcast equivalent of the movie Avatar because he couldn't make it because the technology didn't exist. So we're basically, who made that movie? James Cameron, right? Yeah, we're basically James Cameron of podcasting.
I have yet to see that movie.
Me either, and I have it on DVD right behind me, and I've never seen it.
Wait. You guys haven't seen Avatar?
No,
I've never seen it.
You guys have never seen it? Why not? And you have it? Like you have it in DVD?
I can show you the copy right now. I've never seen it.
Jesus Christ. I would say...
Is it sealed?
No, it's not sealed. So. Which means I've opened it, so I'm doing this in stages.
Damn.
Like you got close one day, exactly. You unwrapped it, you got ready. I wondered you took the DVD out, and there was like, no, I'm gonna wait.
Yeah. And also, I think I might have it available on one of my streaming services. It might be on there. I've just never gotten around to it. What about you, Rod?
No, I've never seen it. I never cared to see it either.
Damn. I mean, but like, I'm sensing some hostility. I'm just saying I never got around to it. You were like, I don't care.
Nah, fuck that movie. It doesn't have... It's not a superhero movie. I don't give a shit. Like, I'll rarely watch a movie that does not have some type of comic book connection. I refuse.
You know, that's actually a good question because I was wondering about that right now. Like, would Avatar fall now? For you okay there, Ches? You're all right.
Yeah, I'm crying.
You affected him, Rod. he's choking up. For someone that's never seen Avatar, like he's choked up. Nah, but like I'm wondering now with because Avatar the sequel is gonna come out like in a few years or something. And now with all the movies that we have that are superhero-esque, right, or superhero inspired, would Avatar fall as a superhero? Because it's sci-fi, right, with people, like it's got a Star Wars type vibe to it because it's people, other planets, aliens, war. I don't know. Would that fall under?
Nah, fuck that.
I don't think it's a superhero movie.
All right. I agree. All right, fuck it.
And also, if I'm not mistaken, I know I say that a lot, but it's because I'm scared I make a lot of mistakes.
You make a ton. You make a lot.
See, exactly. That's why I say that.
I edit them out after the podcast, so don't worry.
Yeah, it's usually like completely riddled with inaccuracies. Isn't James Cameron like against like the whole superhero movie genre? Isn't he one of those guys on the low?
Oh, damn. I don't remember if he was one of those guys.
I remember him. I know Scorsese's one of those guys. But
yeah, Scorsese.
And Cameron might be one of those guys too. I'm not sure. So he's a little jelly of that Disney bread.
Mm-hmm. Those stuck-up directors talking shit about Hollywood. Like, shut the fuck up.
Word.
Like
Haters.
Yeah, dude. Like, Martin Scorsese giving crap about these movies that are like just like I don't know, like unrealistic superhero, and then he does nothing but like gangster mafia movies. And also like those movies, the gangster mafia movies were the superhero movies of those days. Like those were the movies that were like, you're not gonna watch that kind of film. It's dumb or stuff like that. Like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Scorsese has made the same movie 20 times.
Yeah.
Is that we know journalists are notorious for like sensationalizing news. So here it says James Cameron is hoping that Avengers fatigue sets in pretty soon. He said that Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman was a step backward. But I'm willing to bet that if we brought the actual like I don't know the whole interview, he's probably saying like all kinds of stuff, but journalists are like, okay, what's going to get the most response? Let's say that he hates the Avengers, let's say that he hates women protagonists and shit.
I don't care, context or no, that quote was damning, and damn you, James Cameron. Damn you.
And also,
what kind of context would have made that better? What kind of context for him to say Wonder Woman with Patty Jenkins was a step backwards? What's before and after that makes him go, but that was a great movie, and I love those films. Like, no.
And a step backwards for who?
Exactly.
For female protagonists, apparently. But yeah,
Cameron.
You know what? The haters are gonna hate. Like, let's let them hate, and let's just keep enjoying our superhero movies, because we're not gonna see this slow down anytime soon.
Right.
With this Batman news, Into the Spider-Verse 2, the Spider-Man 3 that's coming out soon. That it's I don't know, with Peter Parker exposed and what's it? The actor's name? J. Jonah Jameson reprising his role. Simmons,
right? J.K. Simmons, yeah.
And
also just with the history, right? Like, we're saying we've been reading comics since like the early 90s and stuff like that. Comics have been around since the 60s, like at least modern day, at least Marvel, but like obviously Batman, Superman from way before. Like, there's a reason why these characters have lasted as long as they have, you know? It's just about time that the film and TV industry caught on, be like, oh, these are actually good stories, you know, that we can do stuff with it. And what I love about Marvel, I think, is Marvel's been doing a good job at trying at least to make their films kind of be like a different genre, right? Like with Winter Soldier being kind of like a suspense spy kind of thing, but a superhero film anyway, right? You know, I do think moving forward, other movies should hopefully really try to make them be their own thing. Like even Logan and like the Joker, you know, the Joker film, like they're great films that are not like, don't feel superhero comic book-y like traditional like Avengers and stuff like that.
They don't feel connected to like a franchise, essentially.
That too, yeah.
Yeah. Also, by the way, props to Rod for just bringing up that James Cameron quote on the spot and proving us unequivocally.
Now, I'm gonna take the role as the fact checker. So I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be young Jamie for our podcast.
I respect that. I noticed that. I was like, that was some
shout out.
Facts. Shout out to young Jamie.
Yeah, shout out to young Jamie.
He's inspirational.
Yo, we appreciate it. Yeah, man.
As per Rogan, the best one-handed Googler on the internet.
Yeah. Probably jerking off with the other hand. Anyway.
Yeah, so talking about chaos theory from earlier, this is something I kind of wanted to get into. And this is our infamous and most, I want to say, hottest debated segment of our episodes. And it's the who is more epic and also the versus debate. And this time we have a bit of a hat trick. It's a three-way, and it's Batman oriented. So, guys, basically, it kind of goes like this. Who's more epic? Michael Keaton Batman, Christian Bale Batman, or Ben Affleck Batman? And also think about this. Who would win in a fight?
Oh, this is gonna be probably one that'll go down in history. This who's more epic? Can't wait to see what people think. And this is perfect because it's appropriate for the theme. But Michael Keaton coming back. All right, so I'm gonna start it up. I'm gonna throw in my 2 cents. Damn, it's a good one, right? All right, so Keaton, Bale, Affleck. All right, so who's more epic? I have to say, I want to say that it was not that it was an easy decision, but it kind of wasn't. All right, so because to be honest, I think for me, who's more epic? It's between Keaton and Bale. All right, Batfleck, good job. I don't really want to talk too much shit about him. I would rather more talk shit about Snyder using him as a Batman. So not so much Batfleck himself, but between Keaton and Bale, Keaton is the best Batman. Like he's the most epic Batman, hands down, for several reasons. Obviously, first of all, being the first one, right? And then just being having so many iconic scenes, iconic moments. Like his Batman phrasing has been the best one ever. Like Christian Bale got it, he did it well too. but it's not as iconic and epic. And I would say Keaton's Batman voice is, I think, hands down the best voice out there. Like, it felt the most natural, because I feel like, Batfleck's and Bale's Batman voice, which were okay, were a little bit too cartoonish, were a little bit too exaggerated in the growliness and like raspy side of it. But Batman's, like Michael Keaton's Batman, was just like perfect, switching between the role of Bruce Wayne and Keaton. And all right, so my last argument for Keaton is I also think Keaton was the best Bruce Wayne. He was the best Bruce Wayne compared to all the other ones. Like, the way he acted, just he was a little weird. You could feel that he was a little tormented, but then kind of keeping his shit together. I don't know. He just did a wonderful job as Bruce Wayne. All right. Okay, so that's who's more epic. The battle we'll talk about later. All right, so Rod, what do you say?
All right, first, shout out to Adam West, because although Michael Keaton is the first, Adam West did have a film, and honestly, I grew up admiring, Adam West Batman and Burt Ward Robin. And this is a separate topic, but I'm a massive Nightwing fan, and it started with Burt Ward's iteration of Robin. But back to the matter at hand. Who's the most epic Batman? Well, my argument is going to revolve around the fact that only one Batman has coexisted with Superman. And that's a tough thing to pull off. Not only to coexist with Superman, although Tim Burton's Batman almost did, Michael Keaton almost did, Nicolas Cage, if that film would have been made.
I have to watch that.
In the comic books, it's kind of odd to have a human amongst gods in the Justice League. And I think that Ben Affleck really brought that Bruce Wayne to life. Although the nostalgia and love all goes to Michael Keaton, when it comes to who's more epic, first of all, out of the three, Michael Keaton is the weakest Batman, because in order for him to take out a room full of thugs, he blew them up with a bomb.
Nice.
And then Christian Bale, he did fight many League of Shadows members at the same time, but he was still getting roughed up. Now, Batman in the infamous warehouse, I say Batman, what I meant was Batfleck in the infamous warehouse scene. I felt like that was the most gritty, comic book-esque Batman fight scene of all time. And, granted, Ben Affleck didn't have his own film. It never happened. He only appeared in conjunction with Superman, and then in the shit show that was Justice League.
And Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah, that and those scenes were actually pretty cool. That's probably like one of the only cool things about that movie, honestly. With Will Smith with the pimp hat and everything, that was fucking awesome. And the fact that his daughter got in the way to stop him from just taking out Batfleck. Anyways, I'm sorry, I gotta go. Even though it hurts my heart, and I love Michael Keaton, he's inspired me as a human. I gotta go with Batfleck, and I'm hoping to God, if you're listening to this podcast,
I'm sure he does.
I hope that the Batman that we saw in BVS Ultimate Edition is the same Batman that we see in Zack Snyder's Justice League. That character needs some closure. There are rumors that he might be the sacrificial lamb a la Tony Stark. But whatever happens. I can't wait for it. So I'm going to go with Ben Affleck. And also, just to add a little caveat at the end, because you also mentioned who's the best Bruce Wayne. That one I might have to think about. I'm not going to just go ahead with Ben Affleck on that one, because he was like kind of a weird Bruce Wayne. But anyway, Ches.
Yeah, no, come on. We can agree that Affleck was the worst Bruce Wayne. Like, he had moments. I'm not saying he wasn't a bad Bruce Wayne, but he was worse compared to Bale and compared to Keaton, I have to say. Like, especially like in the episode 1, Ches pointed it out, like him being such a drunk, and then trying to make jokes too. Like, I don't know, but he was making jokes as Batman too, but it was just, I don't know, but not landing because
in that Whedon cut.
Yes, yeah, exactly. But damn, those were good points, Rod. Those were actually, damn.
All right.
Ches.
I just want to start this by saying, I don't care who this offends. Michael Keaton is the worst Batman we've ever had. And I know what I said at the beginning of this episode, that I'm happy that he's coming back in the Flash movie and Batman '89, is because it's an awesome movie. Like, it's super campy. You know what I mean? It's iconic. But Bruce Wayne does not have a fading hairline and like super curly hair like that, like just almost comes all the way to the back of his head, and like with the sagging, like he just doesn't have the Bruce Wayne look. The whole scene with the "come on, let's get nuts," that's not Bruce Wayne. And like, if you see the movie and try to compare him, like, and even as Batman, like, I'm not a fan of the Keaton one. I just wanted to get that out there. I don't care what anybody says. Screw you guys.
I don't know. I will just argue right now to let you keep making your point. But for example, that scene, that classic scene of like, let's get nuts. I think if that's actually the most Bruce Wayne, I think, a scene, because like we've seen in the comic books, in the cartoons, that Bruce Wayne, right, will take on these personas for the moment, right? Because he's acting shit out. He's acting out as a playboy, right? He'll act out all these scenes to one, throw you off that he's not Batman, right? And he's also been like, what was his name? Matches Malone, right? And as he's gone into like the mafia underworld to try. So he's an actor, So that moment was him showing like, oh, look at me, I'm crazy, to distract Joker, because he knew he was gonna get shot, and he had the plate in his chest ready to get shot. Because he's that smart. He's a detective. He's ready to go. That's awesome. That was a perfect Bruce Wayne Batman scene. But continue, Ches. Make your point.
Yeah, whatever, man. Anyway, that was a whack moment. Out of the three, I do love Batfleck. He's not my favorite one, but I'm just going down the list. Sorry. I do love Batfleck. He was insanely epic, and there was so much potential. The only reason why he's not my number one, to be perfectly honest, is just because we couldn't get any more. And also because even though like as tough as it was, it just didn't speak to me as much as my favorite one did for some odd reason. I don't know why. I give it like a 8.5, possibly even like a 9 out of 10. But the one I give a 10 out of 10 to is Christian Bale. And part of the reason being because even though, of course, it's impossible for his journey to happen, it seems so real. Like, it seems so actually possible. Like, in a world of, like, there's no magic, there's no other heroes, he did all that crazy shit. And in my opinion, he had, like, the best bat suit. He was, in my opinion, the most handsome of the Bruce Waynes.
No argument there.
Yeah, his hair was amazing. Like. There's a part, I think it was in part 3, when he's like in the Ferrari trying to save the dude, right? Or isn't like in part 2 that he's driving the Ferrari through the city?
That's in part 2.
In part 2. He looks like that Ferrari. Like as a man, I was like, holy crap, that's crazy. But yeah, he's my favorite Batman, bar none. And I think his fighting is the best. All because Batman Begins is one of my favorite, like, I want to say top 3 movies of all time, all genres. I love Batman Begins.
And I was there when you first saw it. It was me, you, and Joey. And for the fans, Joey's my little big brother.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. Like, I almost wanted to fight crime afterwards. But the best Bruce Wayne, I want to say, and I'm going completely off the board.
Val Kilmer.
Yeah, Val Kilmer.
I knew you were going to say that shit.
You guys said it together.
Contrarian ass.
He's not contrarian. He's the best Bruce Wayne.
Val Kilmer. Can you elaborate, elucidate why Val Kilmer?
First of all, he's beautiful.
More beautiful than Christian Bale?
Yeah, actually, if you compare them, yeah, Val Kilmer in his prime, I think is more handsome than Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne. And second, like, he really played that like suave, soft, like you would never think that guy's throwing punches left and right. You know what I mean? Where kind of like with like the Christian Bale Bruce Wayne, even though he's super handsome, you see like that guy fucks people up. Like you see it in his face, like in the structure. Like there's like an underlying grit in that Bruce Wayne. as were like the Val Kilmer when he like he's like insanely pretty.
But wasn't he also? I actually looked up photos right now. I looked up photos right now, but he's also like he was blonde. No? He was like almost like a blonde Batman, Bruce Wayne. That's you know, I don't know about that.
I don't know, man. Like, I just wish I could get like the Christian Bale Batman, but then out of the costume is the Val Kilmer Bruce Wayne. I wish I could get that in a movie. I think that would have been. I think that would have been peak.
Contrarian.
All right, which Bruce Wayne got the most pussy?
Oh,
I'm gonna go straight up Adam West.
well, yeah.
Like he dressed like Hugh Hefner when he wasn't being Batman.
Yeah.
Like, and it was like the swinging 70s and shit, all that hippie pussy. And I think
60s.
I think there's a book, 60s. I think there's a book where like it's like a biography about Adam West and Burt Ward's antics and just like slaying hoes left and right.
Nah, man. If there's any Batman that fucks, like any Bruce Wayne that fucks, is Batflick.
Oh yeah.
Batflick fucks.
They did show a scene where he like wakes up and like, what does he take a shot of whiskey and pills or some shit?
Yeah,
There's a chick
look at that. Just wakes up, does drugs.
All right. Okay.
Drinks.
That brings me to my rebuttal. All right. I think that, well, okay, Batman is obviously superhuman, although he's very human at the same time. I think making him imperfect works for the character. Like he doesn't have to be the most buff guy. I'm glad that like Robert Pattinson is like, you know, upsetting fans like, oh, I'm not gonna get all jacked. You know, hey, people relax. All right. Michael Keaton wasn't even all that jacked. Val Kilmer wasn't all that jacked. The best shape Batman is Christian Bale, honestly.
Yeah, word.
Yeah.
So I like to see flaws and you know who's had. Come on, he has like a childhood trauma, and I think that he's perfect after that. I want to see him like abusing alcohol. I mean, I don't know about the Justice League scenes and stuff where he's literally Ben Affleck's literally going through an alcoholic phase, and his face is all puffy and shit. He's trying to like kick it to Gal Gadot on set while the camera's rolling. I don't know what's going on there.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
he's trying to stay in character as Bruce Wayne. That's what Bruce Wayne would do.
But to circle back, best Bruce Wayne, I gotta give it to Christian Bale. He had the most fleshed out Batman. He had a trilogy. He had the origins all the way to his final battle and retirement. He's the only Batman that had a sense of finality. I don't know if Michael Keaton, if his Batman, there's rumors that he comes back, he might entice Tim Burton to come back as well. And they could potentially continue that storyline, which Bryan Singer attempted to do with Superman Returns. He tried to continue the tale of Richard Donner and Christopher Reeve, you know, with a new direction, but the same story. I'm kind of hoping that we get a Neo Burton Gotham, and that we can see how this Batman progressed over time. That's what I'm most excited about. Just to circle back to the whole thing, I'm most excited to see how this Batman aged. And you know, Alfred's long gone, right?
Right.
Yeah, word.
You know, he's gonna have proteges and whatnot.
Word.
Anyway, I'm stoked.
Yes.
Which brings me to the point, being stoked about Batman. What you reading, guys? What's going on? What are you guys reading?
What's that background noise?
I know. Who's having a party? Like, not here.
That is because I live in the Bronx, gentlemen. That's that music I told you guys about.
Yeah.
Está bien. Yeah. But all right, but that's good. All right, but like, wait. Before I think switching over to what you're reading, which I thought we weren't gonna do today, but it's fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, like it's here. It's on the list.
It's on the list. But wait. All right. So it seems all right. Just to make sure we finalize this, right? Because also it seems all right. This is the first time we don't all agree, right? So I said Michael Keaton, most epic Batman. Rod went with Batflick, and Chess with Bale. You know, and I do want to say I think everybody made some solid arguments. I think there was moments where I'm like, damn, like I gotta rethink this, but nah. But we didn't say. So who would win in a fight?
Oh, right.
The three were boom left in a warehouse. You know.
Yeah, very true.
Easy to answer, guys. There is no debate. First of all, Michael Keaton. Okay, Okay, Christian Bale.
Are you gonna say Michael Keaton?
Wait, hold on, wait. Christian Bale.
Wait,
Bale's the only-
wait. Is this
All right.
this with gadgets? Is this like with, or is this just one-on-one?
Okay, wait. For this hypothetical fight, are they killing? Because
Of course not. It's Batman.
so it's just a fight.
Of course they're killing. They're Batmen.
Batman doesn't kill, so no, they're not.
I say they're killing each other.
Mm-mm.
All right, because if they're allowed to use lethal measures, then Christian Bale's the least likely to win in that circumstance because he's the only Batman that never killed on screen, right?
Right.
I mean,
Right, and then because Michael Keaton's Batman basically only killed almost by accident, no? Like just letting Joker fall, you know? He didn't kill other people?
what? No, he dropped like a small bomb in a Ace Chemicals full of thugs, and then he just drove away epically as the whole thing exploded. Remember?
Right.
It's like the Batmobile that drops like a little thing. He just drives out, and there's a huge explosion scene. And in Batman Returns, not only does he kill one of the Penguin's circus henchmen, he smiles before killing him.
Yeah, word.
Which shows that this Batman is a sadist.
He
Right,
knew.
right.
He knew he was gonna end that guy's life right there.
And he liked it, like he was waiting. He
Yo.
couldn't wait for it. Like, yes.
Which is one of my all-time favorite gifts of
Yes.
all time.
All right, so then are we allowing killing or not in this battle?
Fine, I'll cave. No killing.
All right,
No killing? All right.
So who would win? Rod, what do you think? You're saying it was easy.
Okay. It's going to boil down to either Batfleck or Bale. Or Baleman, whatever you want to call that one. Because Michael Keaton is super epic, but again, I like the fact that they're
He's whack.
limited. And, you know, he had a hard time fighting that one thug, like in the Joker's Tower at the end of the first Batman. That one thug almost whooped his ass. And he killed that guy, too, just to add. So, yeah. But whereas Christian Bale and Batfleck can take on multiple opponents at the same time. But I think if you break down their fight scenes, Batfleck is the most resourceful. And again, just to throw you can't really argue with this point. He coexists with the rest of the Justice League. And he survived a fight against General Zod Doomsday. I mean, granted, you know, he didn't do that much in that fight, but still, he was holding it down. All right, so I go, again, Batfleck.
That's not bad. That's not a bad. I think hearing that and thinking about it, I would say, of course, Michael Keaton would not win this battle. No, I love the man, but like loved him as Batman, but he just wouldn't do it. I do think it would be Bale. I think Bale would be the one who wins in a fight, and this is why. Because they whoop Michael Keaton's ass hands down easy. And Batfleck, you're right, he was good, but honestly, we really only got one good fight scene for Batfleck. Only really one. Everything else that we saw him doing stuff was usually in like some technological thing. Like it's either in the Batmobile or that like what was that tank thing that he was kind of climbing up the tunnel in Justice League, right? And then in that's in his like Frank Miller type armor versus Superman, and like he was all right, okay, like, and yeah, so he survived, being with the Justice League, but I think out of pity, like they're like just not letting him die pretty much. They're like, yeah, sure, buddy, hang out, because they see him as a sad, drunk, broken boy, like, all right. But I think Bale, like, we know he got the training. We saw the epic ass training that he's gotten. We've seen him take on a lot of people with and without the suit, right? And like I think he just has the stamina. Oh, and that's the other thing, and the stamina. And so like I think Batfleck will fight well. He'll be able to do it, but he's gonna get tired. Like he's fat. Like he needs a drink. Like he's eventually gonna get worn out. And Bale's gonna be like, just keep going, and then Bale would whoop his ass.
I like that.
I'm also gonna go Bale, just simply based off the one scene in Batman Begins where he gets up out of bed, chugs a green beverage, and just drops to doing push-ups. Just for that scene alone, Bale would win. That and Batman 89 can't turn his neck, and
right,
and Batfleck, as Miguel pointed out, he's just a fat slob, relatively compared to Christian Bale. So
It's a little harsh.
Yeah, I mean, like I said compared to Christian Bale. So I definitely go Bale. He would win. He has the most mobile neck on his costume.
Yep.
That's true. That's true. Because also, like, and if they allowed to kill people, like, it'd be easy to kill Michael Keaton, just like snap his neck, like a little bit, like you just have
A little bit.
like.
No, honestly, if we're allowing killing, that's where Michael Keaton would actually be able to.
He excels.
Honestly,
Batman 89 excels in
yo,
killing.
I think that's where he'd get his edge because he takes pleasure in killing.
But it's sleight of hand killing because people don't even notice until you really look at his antics.
Bruh.
It's all sleight of hand.
All right, damn. Different rules. We would have Michael Keaton win. All right, but like, regular Batman rules. All right, we have Bale. You know.
Yeah, Bale wins.
All right, not bad.
That is an interesting turn of events. Look at that.
Favorite episode so far. This is a Batman-centric episode. Yeah, we definitely gotta go to Marvel next time and all that shit.
This was the Batcast, guys.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and then technically,
was.
because I think, because we've gotten a lot, with the pandemic, I think we've gotten, because technically we should have almost around this time been talking about Black Widow, because the movie was supposed to come out in June, no?
Yep.
And it got moved, and we've gotten like zero pretty much news really for Marvel. I think we've been getting a lot of DC news like over the last few months, and so exactly Marvel will have this day. Marvel will come back strong. And also Marvel just ended their epic
20-year run,
My God.
Let the machine cool off for a second.
Exactly, like Infinity War just happened, right? Let's let them, they've earned the break, take 6 months, a year off if you need, you're good. They're gonna come back strong, and I can't wait for the next big saga, which I hope it'll be like Doctor Doom or something like cosmic. Cosmic, not like Thanos, like something.
Yeah, that'd be pretty wild. Yeah, and apparently, since I completely forgot that second part of the Who's Versus and Who's More Epic, I was way off on the next segment. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, are we there now? How do you guys feel about that?
I think we're about to wrap up.
Yeah, I think we wrap it up.
Okay, then There you go. All right, guys. And
also, I haven't had a chance to read Metal yet, which would have been more Bat talk. I would have started to get into how epic Scott Snyder's. Oh, I
thought that you had started it.
No, what is it called? Heavy Metal is the new story.
Yes.
That one just dropped. I haven't had a chance to read it, but slightly related story. August is going to have a major DC event where they're going to release information on comics, films, cartoons, their app, games, all that. And there are rumors that they're going to release a Court of Owls themed Batman game that may be adjacent to the Arkham series. So
that'd be insane.
That's going to be dope.
Oh.
That's going to be fucking cool.
Is it going to be Rocksteady?
Yeah, Rocksteady.
What?
That's their next game. But this is all rumors. If it turns out to be true, we're going to know it in August. But yeah, there's going to be some big news.
If it's not true, I'm just going to blame you and be upset.
Do it.
Hey, that'd be dope. And is it called, what's it called? The new, because that's the book that you said you just bought, right? Is the from Dark Knights, from Snyder's run with the whole Metal saga, right?
Yeah, Heavy Metal, right? That's the latest. Hold on.
Oh no! I should double. So Death Metal.
Heavy Metal.
Oh, Death Metal.
Death Metal.
Oh yeah, because I'm thinking of the 1980s heavy metal comic, which I think takes this book probably takes some inspiration from that one.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure.
For that,
yeah. It definitely pays homage.
Even the pose of Wonder Woman is similar to the iconic. Anyway, before we get into the
and before we start episode 4, right on the heels of episode 3. Let's just go ahead and wrap this one up, guys. And thanks, all you listeners out there, all 500 million of you, for tuning into episode 3 of the Legion on Zoom. And once again, everybody, I'm Ches.
Yo, and I'm Miguel.
I'm Rod. You can find us on Instagram.com/Legion on Zoom, YouTube.com/Legion on Zoom. Just Google it. Just fucking follow everything. All right.
We're out there. We're official. Shit's happening. Boom. Later, guys.
Peace.
Peace.
Later.
Legion on Zoom, starring and produced by Jose Perez, aka Ches, Rodney Martinez, and myself, Miguel Arce. Please subscribe on wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or shoot us an email at legiononzoom@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media at Legion on Zoom.